Alright, welcome back.
We are here.
So, Brian. So.
We did it.
We made another oopsie.
Yeah.
We made another oopsie in which we recorded an episode and didn't realize OBS decided to take the liberty of assigning the audio input to a device that was not connected.
Yeah.
So, as a result, we did one more episode where we just didn't realize that anything we were saying wasn't actually getting on the,
Yeah. Like we were paused here to talk about something.
Yeah. Oh, right, the upload schedule.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was mentioning to you how, if we had stretched out, because, like, normally we do, like, an episode every other day, not counting weekends.
Yeah.
And for this past week, I've been trying to speed it up to an episode every single day, just to try to get through the Champions Road episodes.
Yeah.
We had, like, 10, I want to say? And more than 10, actually. I think it was 10 in one session, not counting the few that we did before then.
Yeah.
But anyway, we did so many episodes, and I thought about it. I was like, if we stretch this out to the normal one episode every other day, that's going to stretch for over 2 weeks.
Oof.
And then it reminded me, I know I've told you about this, like, between episodes, but I don't know that I ever mentioned on the show, that there was an anime called The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya.
Yeah.
And it's a neat little sci-fi anime. It's, one of the main characters has godlike powers, but doesn't know that she has them, so sometimes she'll just make things happen, and she's not aware of it. So she just treats it like it's a thing that's happening.
Yeah.
But then there's other people that do know about it and whatnot. But then
Oh, yeah, my flailing there.
Oh, yeah. That's fine. But and just like that, I lost my train of thought.
Godlike powers.
Right. Okay. So
yeah.
one of the episodes, or one of the things, the first season was fine. It's perfectly enjoyable. The second season starts off okay, but then it goes into something called the Endless Eight, because it does like a Groundhog Day like time loop where it just repeats the same day over and over again. But the main character, who's like just a regular guy, he doesn't have any special powers.
Yeah.
The main character, he treats it like it's a regular day. He's, wakes up, he gets a phone call, he goes to see his friends, the usual. But then
He's murdered.
the second... Yeah, why not? But then, like, the second episode, it starts the same way.
Yeah.
Wake up, phone call, blah, 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 whatever. And you, as the viewer, you're like, wait, what's happening here? All this seems familiar. And, halfway through the episode, now he gets a phone call that he didn't get beforehand. And it's one of his friends telling him, hey, meet us in the park in some odd amount of time. And he goes there, and they tell him, hey, we're going through a time loop. This is currently the second or third iteration or whatever. I don't remember how many they actually did.
That shouldn't have worked there, and I'm glad it did.
Late start? Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, because the little whistle went off, and it just didn't kick us out. But
So how many times does this show do this time loop thing?
okay, so storyline-wise, the number of loops gets up into, like, the 4 or 5 digits, like, at least several thousand. But you, as the viewer, the first episode's normal. The second episode, you just now learn about the fact that there is indeed a time loop. In the first few episodes, they'll say, oh, it's the second loop, or the next episode, it's the third loop. They'll start off with low numbers, but you get to, like, the 6th episode or so, and they jump. So they're like, this is currently the 900th loop, the blah, blah, blah. And you can... Like, it frustrates me just thinking about it.
So, like, was there no variation in the episode except at the end, or was it...
Yes and no. So, like, the dialogue was all the same, word for word, except for the number of loop that they were on. But they wouldn't, they didn't, like, rehash the animation or anything. Like, they had the,
That's a good throw right there.
Yeah. I'm surprised I made it. I had, I keep losing my train of thought, because now I'm watching this, and I see that you stopped the wheel, Brian.
Yeah.
I couldn't turn it anymore, because you stopped it.
I didn't know how that worked, but But so, like, there are minor variations, but not enough.
They're not even minor. I mean, they do, like, completely reanimate the scene, but it's just that, yeah, they still don't feel enough because you still feel like you're watching the same episode over and over.
It's not like Groundhog Day where every loop the character acts differently.
Where Bill Murray realized, oh yeah, I'm in a loop, let's just do goofy shit now, and that was it. But, yeah, it's, like, you can literally watch the first episode and the last episode and get the full effect out of it.
And all the stuff in the middle was just padding.
It's just padding, because on the 8th episode, he does figure out what was wrong.
Yeah.
But everything else is just, oh, same dialogue. Yes, we are now in this number loop.
I just remember getting to this part and thinking, you trained for this.
Oh, yeah, yeah. This. Oh, boy. Because I think I was still, like, at this point in the video, I think I was explaining the whole anime thing.
Yeah.
I was just tuning out.
And we were just nailing it.
Like, my brain was just on autopilot the whole time. I was like, yep, blah, 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 anime, it's looping and whatnot.
I recall when we got to, like, the halfway point of this, when we realized we were in new territory, it's like, wait, we're in new territory now, aren't we? And there I am, accidentally killing the thing we needed to solve the puzzle.
Because, like, I think at that point, I thought about the, we watched one of the intros. Like, I think we were just, talking, like, between episodes, and we left it on the title screen for 3D World, and we saw one instance where the character, like, grabbed a plant in a pot and started running around and eating enemies, and I think I just kind of remembered that, and instinct kind of kicked in. But sorry, what I was saying before, so I kept thinking that as we were still doing Champions Road, and I thought, this reminds me so much of that, because we're trying to do this, and every time I think about that anime, because when I watched it, it was on a DVD box set. I was just binging it all at once, and I thought, how much would it suck to be... I can't imagine what it must be like to be an actual fan of the show, watching it as it came out, and having to wait a whole week just to watch the same episode done up again for 2 months straight.
Yeah.
And that was what I was thinking as we were still doing Champions Road, and I didn't want to bring it up because I thought, I don't want people to, like, instantly make that connection, and I was writhing. Like you said, you enjoyed Champions Road.
I do. I really enjoy the level, and I don't think it's Stockholm Syndrome. I don't think it is, but, I mean, it might be. But I will say, we surprised ourselves at how well we did that, because, bear in mind, this was the first recording after, like, a week of not playing the game.
Yeah.
And we came back, and we just murdered all of those stages in the first run of the day.
Immediately one-shotted the marathon.
And we were both like, oh, well, we still have, like, half an episode left.
So at this point, we just wandered around, because we were like, wait, aren't we supposed to get the stamp for completing every stage with one character? And I was wondering, what happened? How come I know you switched to Rosalina very briefly, but I know I played as Toad from beginning to end. And you thought up the idea that, what if, you actually have to hit the flagpole, so if I'm bubbled at the time, maybe it didn't count.
Yeah.
And so at this point, I'm just wandering,
just
trying
checking
to
each one,
figure out what stage I haven't done as Toad. But yeah, everyone, holy crap, thank you for just sticking with us, everyone that sat from episode 1 as we threw ourselves at the wall for 500 lives.
Oh yeah, and I've had I've had a really good friend come hang out with me and say they've been watching the show and say, hey, keep it up, you're doing a great job. Another one of my friends sends me messages encouraging us to keep going and not to give up. And another one of our viewers, he came to my work and asked if we had beaten it yet, and then he was rooting for us and hoping to see it. And he's also been keeping track of my spins, which is why I threw a few extras into that last match. Just to, the times that I'm spinning. Because I joked about somebody needing to keep track of it. Well, he's going to do it, so I had to throw some extra ones in just to make his life a little bit more miserable, because that's what he lives for. And but everyone who has been sitting through it and actually sending me encouraging messages, I've been passing them on, and I really appreciate it, because this isn't the best of the Mario games.
That was something we were mentioning, is like you said, it feels like the B team made this game, but I mentioned how I don't even feel like that's accurate, because when I think
it's not really a fair assessment, because that implies that they're not good at it.
Because like the what's the phrase I'm thinking of? The analogy I made is if it was made by the B team with supervision from the A team.
Yeah.
Because when I think B team, I think of the really bad sequels to games like Mass Effect Andromeda and Fallout 76 were made by B teams. And this is not anywhere near as bad as that.
Yeah. Plus, it kind of vibes of just throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks, and not everything landed. It definitely felt like they had the encouragement of there are no bad ideas, and I think more games need that.
Yeah.
Because, the actual craftsmanship and artistry on display here is really strong. There's nothing here where I'd go, well, that's poorly designed. Just some things
Tumbling blocks, Brian!
Or just some things poorly implemented. But
tumbling
you're right.
lava blocks.
Yeah, the tumbling
Brian.
lava blocks could use a patch, but honestly, that's like 1% of the levels of this game. So,
yeah.
Like, all things considered, I think they did pretty solid with this one. It's definitely not my favorite Mario game. Now, I will say, for every annoying thing, there were 10 things that were kind of fun and clever.
Yes.
But also, the game did have a habit of blowing its load a little early, being like, hey, here's the cool thing, and then never doing the cool thing again.
The example you gave that we keep going back to was the first Ghost House.
Yeah, which is still the best one.
Because the first one had so many different, tricky things to it. Like, oh, hey, there's the flag, and you jump for it, and it just explodes into ghosts.
Yeah, I couldn't help but laugh.
Yeah, dude, I'm still mad that OBS screwed up on that episode, because we were cackling.
Yeah.
At that,
you can't recapture that reaction. Oh, so much fun.
Everything on that stage was amazing, and none of the ghost stages really, the first Ghost House set a really high bar that none of the other ghost stages could really meet.
Yeah.
I mean, there were other good ghost stages for different reasons.
Don't you try to kill me.
Right, because I mentioned that at the time, what I was going to try to do was, just as a joke, grab you and just jump off into the lava.
And then I realized I accidentally left you behind, so I'm just like, later.
I was like, alright, fine, see you later. Heck it, why not?
But, going back to the star level that we did, it's like, we were surprised at it, but then it's like, we had become so finely tuned on that Champions Road that I think all of the challenges it was throwing at us, we had kind of already mastered variations on it in that final stage.
I think so. The only thing, and I'm actually really surprised this, I think one thing that never came up ever in the game, except on that marathon, was that one where you have to grab the plant and eat the fuzzies.
Yeah.
We have never had any point in the game
where you can kill the fuzzies.
Or where we could pick up the plants.
Yeah.
So it was just out of remembering that we saw the...
one of the ghost houses also had the pick-upable plants, but...
Did it?
I think there was one ghost house, because I recall that being really fun. Because I know we did that once already.
I don't remember ever picking up the plants.
But there were a lot of things in that final one that, we just picked up really quick, but you're right, there was a lot of those gimmicks that just hadn't been done yet.
Yeah.
I also loved that on the earlier levels, I just cheesed it by putting on the cat suit and running up, with the one where we... Because we always had trouble getting the jumping platforms to get up, where two of them could kill you, but one could actually be used as a jumping platform, and I just cat ran up the wall.
Two could be used...
Or the little chompy blocks that you...
Oh, the chompy springboards?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then I was like, you know what? I have the cat suit. I'm just going to run up this wall.
Oh, you mean in the marathon?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant, in the regular gameplay.
Nah. The regular gameplay, those have always kind of struggled a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, because we always, mistime our jumps. So we're like, oh, okay, we'll just jump here, and then we just biff it.
And then here, just... I died killing one of the bullies, and you're sitting there struggling with those two until I come back.
Trying like heck. And then, at some point, you decided you were just taking everyone out with you.
Apparently I killed them, and I go with them.
You just wanted all the bullies to die come hell or high water.
And I will say, despite this level being kind of bland, it's pretty.
I think we just like blue.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was... I just felt like we had to get the last Toad stage to get that stamp.
Yeah. Because we needed to get at least one of the completed at every level with one character stamp.
Yeah. And we very briefly joked that, oh, okay, now we just have to do everything else with all the other characters, including beat Champions Road with the other three. And I thought,
part of us died on the inside.
Yeah. And at that point, I thought, you know what? I better just leave that before my brain decides to actually do it.
Yeah, it's like, you ever hurt your own feelings with a joke?
Yes.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah. I could feel all of my organs just, like, twisted in reflex.
Yeah.
Like, nope!
But like, things that I loved about this game, you know, the variety. Like, nothing overstayed its welcome except, I think, maybe the Plessy stages.
Yeah.
And that's only because they were just kind of there. Like, there wasn't much challenge to them. They never had a wow factor about them. Falling off cliffs and just going ooh ah is only good the first time.
One thing that I don't want to go so far as to say that it overstayed its welcome, but just that it was kind of annoying that this was a thing that happened, was recurring bosses.
Yeah.
Because, like, it seemed like every boss we had to fight twice. And in the case of the snakes,
Yeah.
that I can kind of understand, because there were actually two of them. Like, there was a husband and wife.
Yeah, and the boss rush at the end,
But-
I understand.
Yeah, true. But, like, when you have the first boss is the Bowser car.
Yeah.
And then 4 stages later, it's the Bowser car again, and there was
But
very
spicier.
little difference. Yeah. Or hey, here's the clone jester guy that has all the bubbles that form a big jester.
Yeah.
And here's the same guy again. It's like, okay.
The game does reek of padding in a few places.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite part of the game is still the Captain Toad levels.
Yeah, those were pretty good.
Like, I can now have a top 3. It's like the Captain Toad levels, that one ghost house, and weirdly, the final level, Champion's Road. I love the trial and error elements to learn it, and then having to hone your skill. Because you had mentioned you have been watching those episodes and kind of groaning at how unrefined we are early on.
Yeah, like some of our earlier tricks to...
It makes you
get through
appreciate how well honed we got at it, you know?
Yeah.
So, all in all, I had a good time with this game.
We do have to get to Bowser's Fury at some point, but
Yeah.
for now, though, we need to take a break from Mario.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is... How did you word it the first time? Like, our relationship with Mario needs distance or something?
Yeah, to save the relationship, we need to take a break.
So we are going to play at least a couple other things
Yeah.
before we come back to Bowser's Fury.
We'll
But
see how our love feels after a trial separation.